There is a peculiar weight that rests on the shoulders of those often referred to as the chosen ones. It is not a burden in the traditional sense. Rather, it is a quiet, ever-present awareness of being different, of perceiving the world through lenses that others cannot even see. These individuals are marked not by an external sign or a label given by society, but by an internal resonance, a deep, intuitive understanding that the world is far more intricate than the surface allows. For many, this understanding comes with a natural sense of isolation, a subtle but insistent call to retreat from the crowded chaos of ordinary life. It is not born from arrogance or a desire to distance oneself from humanity, but from necessity, a need to recalibrate, to conserve energy, and to process the vastness of inner experiences without distraction. Those who walk this path are acutely sensitive to energies, emotions, and vibrations that others often dismiss or ignore. Their connection to the unseen, to truths hidden behind the veil of everyday existence, creates a natural solitude, a state of being that demands quiet spaces, reflective moments, and periods of withdrawal from the relentless currents of social expectation. As we explore this journey, it becomes essential to understand that the solitude of the chosen ones is not merely a passive withdrawal, but an active engagement with their own inner worlds. This is the place where wishes take form, where intentions ripple into the fabric of the universe and begin to align with the unseen forces that respond to focus and clarity. If you are watching this video, I invite you to stay with us until the end, to fully immerse yourself in the energy of this discussion, and to participate by leaving in the comments your warmest wishes alongside the number 66. These small yet potent actions act as sparks, sending vibrations into the cosmos, igniting possibilities, and contributing to the ongoing flow of manifestation that surrounds all of us. In this quiet, interactive communion, we are reminded that even in solitude, there is connection, not through physical proximity, but through shared intention and consciousness. For the chosen ones, the need to be alone is intertwined with the rhythm of their existence. They often experience a heightened awareness of the superficiality that saturates conventional life. Small talk, mindless routines, and the unending expectations of society can feel suffocating, as if every interaction drains the very energy that fuels their purpose. This is not a preference for loneliness in the traditional sense, but a protective mechanism, a way to preserve clarity of thought and emotional equilibrium. The chosen ones are not guided by the same instincts as the masses. Their compass points toward authenticity, depth, and alignment with a broader, often ineffable truth. To live fully in this alignment, they require the stillness that only solitude can provide. In silence, they process experiences, decode complex emotions, and integrate insights that would be impossible amidst constant noise and distraction. Their solitude is further reinforced by the unique emotional intensity that accompanies heightened awareness. Every experience is felt more profoundly, every interaction more deeply. They perceive subtleties in human behavior, emotions, and energy that others overlook, and this acute sensitivity can make the crowded world exhausting. Even in moments of social engagement, the chosen ones may feel a sense of being misunderstood or unrecognized, as if they are speaking a language that others cannot comprehend. This disconnect fosters a retreat into oneself, not as an act of rejection, but as an instinctual form of self-preservation. Within this retreat, they find a sanctuary where thought, reflection, and spiritual attunement can thrive. Here, in this self-created haven, they are free to explore the vast landscapes of imagination, consciousness, and insight without external interference. It is also important to recognize the cyclical nature of solitude in the lives of chosen ones. Their periods of withdrawal are not permanent states of exile, but necessary phases of regeneration. Much like the quiet before a storm, these intervals of isolation are periods of preparation, during which energies are aligned, visions are clarified, and resilience is built. They emerge from solitude with renewed strength, greater empathy, and heightened intuition. This cyclical rhythm ensures that their engagement with the world is purposeful rather than reactionary, that their influence is conscious rather than unconscious. The world may misinterpret these moments of seclusion as aloofness, pride, or detachment, yet they are the quiet crucibles in which the chosen ones forge their capacity to effect transformation, inspire growth, and illuminate hidden truths. Another layer of this need for solitude stems from the deep spiritual awareness that often accompanies the path of the chosen ones. They sense the interconnectedness of all things, the hidden patterns that underlie existence, and the subtle currents that guide life in unseen ways. This awareness can be overwhelming, as it entails perceiving not only the beauty and potential of life but also its contradictions, injustices, and suffering. To process these insights without succumbing to despair or exhaustion, solitude becomes essential. It is within this self-contained space that they can reflect, meditate, and align their actions with the higher principles they intuitively understand. Here, in silence, they find both solace and clarity, and they cultivate the inner resources necessary to navigate a world that often seems chaotic and disconnected. Chosenness is often accompanied by a profound sense of responsibility. Those who are attuned to the deeper layers of existence feel compelled to live with integrity, to honor their inner guidance, and to contribute meaningfully to the world around them. This responsibility can feel heavy, especially when the broader environment is misaligned with the values they hold dear. In response, solitude serves as both shield and training ground. It allows them to confront their fears, refine their purpose, and emerge capable of acting with discernment and wisdom. They are not alone in the conventional sense. Rather, they are in deliberate communion with the unseen, with truths that others may not recognize, and with a higher consciousness that sustains and directs them. In addition, the chosen ones often possess an innate capacity for creativity, vision, and innovation that is intertwined with their need for solitude. Ideas, insights, and inspirations arise most vividly in moments of stillness, when the mind is not cluttered with distractions. To nurture this creativity, they require extended periods of inward focus, uninterrupted by the demands and expectations of the external world. It is in these moments of private contemplation that breakthroughs occur, perspectives shift, and new paths emerge. The solitude is not a withdrawal from life, but a strategic and necessary engagement with the forces of creation. Without it, their potential may remain dormant, and the unique gifts they carry could be diluted or misdirected. Emotional processing is another critical aspect of why the chosen ones often choose solitude. They feel deeply, not only about their own experiences, but also in resonance with the energies around them. Collective pain, joy, and transformation can ripple through their consciousness in ways that can be overwhelming. To navigate these currents without losing balance, they require quiet spaces where emotions can be observed, understood, and integrated. This self-reflective practice is not a sign of detachment, but of deep engagement with the human condition. It equips them to return to the world with empathy, insight, and the capacity to contribute meaningfully to the lives of others. At times, the need for solitude can also be linked to the search for authenticity. Chosen ones are rarely satisfied with superficial connections or shallow interactions. They yearn for depth, truth, and resonance. In a world that often prioritizes convenience over authenticity, their soul instinctively retreats to spaces where genuine reflection and alignment are possible. Solitude becomes a crucible for self-discovery, a laboratory where identity, purpose, and inner values are continuously tested and refined. It is in this sacred space that they come to understand who they are, what they stand for, and how they can act in accordance with their higher calling. Even in their relationships with others, chosen ones often need to carve out periods of solitude. Relationships, while enriching, can also be energetically demanding for those who perceive and absorb more than the average individual. The need to step back, recharge, and process experiences is not a rejection of connection, but an essential practice to maintain balance. This intentional solitude allows them to engage in relationships more fully, with authenticity, patience, and clarity. It ensures that their presence is grounded and intentional, rather than reactive or depleted. In conclusion, the chosen one's need for solitude is a multifaceted phenomenon rooted in sensitivity, awareness, creativity, responsibility, and spiritual attunement. It is a necessary and active choice, a form of self-preservation, reflection, and alignment with forces that operate beyond the ordinary perception. Their isolation is not a withdrawal from the world, but a preparation for meaningful engagement with it. It is a space where energy is conserved, clarity is nurtured, and insight is deepened. The chosen one's solitary journey is one of profound significance, a dance between presence and withdrawal, between observation and action, between inner alignment and external contribution. To understand them is to recognize the sacredness of their need for solitude, a necessity that allows them to navigate life with integrity, depth, and a resonance that touches the world in subtle yet transformative ways. The journey of the chosen ones into solitude is rarely linear. It ebbs and flows, guided by unseen rhythms that the ordinary mind struggles to comprehend. Their inner world is vast, layered with thoughts, emotions, and insights that seem to move according to their own logic. This complexity often makes social interactions feel exhausting, even when surrounded by loving or well-meaning individuals. Every conversation can carry weight. Every encounter resonates on multiple levels, and every misunderstanding has the potential to amplify internal dissonance. In such a life, solitude is not a luxury. It is an imperative. It becomes the space where the mind can rest, the emotions can settle, and the spirit can recalibrate. Without it, the chosen ones risk being pulled into cycles of overstimulation, confusion, or emotional exhaustion. Solitude for the chosen ones is often a protective sanctuary against the overwhelming noise of the external world. This noise is not limited to literal sound. It encompasses opinions, judgments, societal expectations, and the unending pressure to conform. The chosen ones perceive reality in ways that are different from the majority, which can make the mainstream world feel like an incompatible frequency. In their solitude, they can align with their own frequency, listen to their intuition, and cultivate the discernment necessary to navigate the complexities of existence. This alignment is not a static state. It is a continuous process of recalibration, reflection, and attunement, requiring quiet, uninterrupted time away from external distractions. Another factor driving the chosen one's need for isolation is their heightened sensitivity to energy. Human interactions are rarely neutral. They carry subtle vibrations that can either uplift or drain. For those who are acutely attuned, every energy exchange is magnified. Crowds, social obligations, or emotionally charged environments can overwhelm them, creating a profound sense of fatigue that is not merely physical, but deeply energetic. Solitude provides a necessary counterbalance, a space to release absorbed energies, recharge, and restore equilibrium. It is not a withdrawal from life, but a deliberate act of preservation, ensuring that the chosen ones maintain their clarity, insight, and emotional integrity. In solitude, the chosen ones often engage in profound introspection. They reflect on experiences, dissect emotions, and seek understanding that transcends surface appearances. This inner exploration allows them to develop a deep sense of self-awareness, which is essential to living authentically in a world that often rewards conformity over individuality. The depth of introspection that solitude affords is unmatched. It is a laboratory where the mind, heart, and spirit can be observed, questioned, and refined. Through this process, the chosen ones cultivate wisdom, resilience, and an unparalleled clarity of purpose, which ultimately enables them to navigate life in alignment with their higher calling. It is also essential to recognize the role of imagination and creativity in the lives of chosen ones. Their inner world is often rich with visions, ideas, and possibilities that others may not perceive. Solitude becomes the fertile ground in which these creative energies can flourish without interruption. In moments of quiet reflection, they are able to explore new perspectives, imagine solutions, and tap into insights that are not available amidst the constant noise of social life. This creative process is not merely for self-expression, it is a vital component of their purpose, allowing them to manifest unique contributions to the world in alignment with their inner guidance. The chosen one's solitude also serves as a mirror, reflecting the depths of their own consciousness. In the absence of external distractions, they confront their fears, limitations, and unresolved emotions. This confrontation can be challenging, even painful, yet it is essential for growth and transformation. Through solitude, they cultivate resilience and develop a profound understanding of themselves, which in turn allows them to navigate the external world with authenticity and confidence. This process is ongoing. The chosen ones continually evolve, refine their perceptions, and deepen their connection with their inner truth. Moreover, the experience of being different often intensifies the chosen one's need for solitude. They perceive patterns, energies, and truths that others may overlook or dismiss. This heightened perception can create a sense of alienation as they find themselves out of sync with the conventional rhythm of society. While relationships and community are not rejected, they are approached selectively, with discernment, and often after significant periods of introspection. This careful navigation ensures that their interactions are meaningful, rather than draining or superficial. Solitude, therefore, is a vital tool for preserving their energy, maintaining clarity, and fostering connections that are truly resonant and transformative. The chosen ones also carry an intrinsic awareness of life's impermanence and complexity. They sense the fragility of human experience, the transitory nature of material reality, and the profound consequences of thought, intention, and action. This awareness often generates a natural introspection and desire to seek truth beyond the superficial. Solitude allows them to explore these profound questions without distraction, to engage with life on a deeper level, and to cultivate wisdom that transcends ordinary understanding. In this space, they connect with principles, energies, and insights that guide their actions and shape their contributions to the world. It is not uncommon for chosen ones to experience the sensation of being too much for their surroundings. Their intensity, empathy, and depth can feel overwhelming to others, leading to experiences of misunderstanding or even rejection. In response, they instinctively retreat into solitude, a safe haven where they can process their experiences, regain their balance, and integrate their emotions and insights. This withdrawal is not a denial of the world, but a strategic pause, a moment to recalibrate and prepare for future engagement. Solitude, in this sense, becomes a form of empowerment, allowing them to emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with their purpose. Furthermore, solitude enables the chosen ones to cultivate a sense of inner authority. They learn to trust their intuition, to rely on their own judgment, and to act in accordance with their inner guidance rather than external expectations. This self-reliance is essential, as their path is often unconventional, requiring decisions and actions that may not align with societal norms or popular opinion. In moments of solitude, they strengthen their connection to their inner compass, gaining the confidence and clarity necessary to navigate life with integrity, purpose, and authenticity. Even in their solitude, the chosen ones are deeply connected to the world around them, albeit in a different way than most people. Their connection is subtle, energetic, and often intuitive. They perceive patterns, sense shifts, and respond to vibrations that are imperceptible to the majority. Solitude allows them to refine this connection, to listen deeply, and to act with discernment and intentionality. It is a paradoxical state. Though alone physically, they are profoundly attuned to the pulse of existence, engaging with the world from a place of centered awareness and conscious choice. The need for solitude is also intertwined with the chosen one's journey of self-mastery. They are acutely aware of their own potential, as well as the responsibilities that accompany it. Without periods of reflection and introspection, they risk becoming misaligned, reactive, or distracted from their higher purpose. Solitude provides the necessary conditions for cultivating discipline, focus, and inner harmony. It is in these quiet moments that they confront challenges, refine strategies, and develop the resilience required to navigate the complexities of life. In essence, the chosen one's need for solitude is a multidimensional phenomenon, encompassing emotional, psychological, and spiritual dimensions. It is not a retreat from the world, but a strategic engagement with life from a place of centered awareness. Solitude provides the space for introspection, creativity, emotional processing, energy recalibration, and spiritual alignment. It is a necessary practice that enables them to live authentically, contribute meaningfully, and navigate life with clarity, insight, and purpose. The solitude of the chosen ones is not a sign of weakness or detachment. Rather, it is a demonstration of profound strength, self-awareness, and discernment. By honoring this need, they cultivate the inner resources required to engage with the world in ways that are purposeful, transformative, and deeply resonant. Solitude is both a sanctuary and a springboard, a place to restore energy, refine insight, and prepare for the intentional, impactful engagement that defines the lives of those who walk the path of chosenness. For the chosen ones, solitude is not merely a physical state. It is a profound inner necessity, a way of existing that allows them to align with the subtle energies of life. Their inner lives are often dense with observation, reflection, and heightened perception. Every thought carries weight, every emotion is amplified, and every encounter resonates far beyond the immediate moment. To navigate this intense inner landscape without becoming overwhelmed, they instinctively seek solitude. It is in this space that they can untangle the threads of their own consciousness, process the complexity of their perceptions, and regain clarity. Solitude becomes the canvas upon which they can map their inner reality, connect the dots of their experiences, and find coherence in the seemingly chaotic world around them. This need for solitude is also closely tied to their emotional depth. Chosen ones experience life with a heightened sensitivity, feeling the joy and suffering of themselves and others with exceptional intensity. This emotional resonance, while a gift, can also be draining. Without adequate space to process these currents, they risk being swept away by the magnitude of their own experiences or the energies they absorb from the environment. In retreating into solitude, they create a buffer, a safe zone where emotions can be observed, integrated, and transformed. It is a space where they can acknowledge the pain and beauty of life without being consumed by it, where emotional processing becomes a form of empowerment rather than a source of depletion. Spiritual attunement is another cornerstone of the chosen one's relationship with solitude. They often possess a natural inclination to perceive layers of existence that others cannot detect, energetic fields, subtle vibrations, and the underlying patterns that structure reality. This sensitivity is both a gift and a responsibility. The insight it provides can guide them toward purpose, alignment, and action, but it can also be isolating. Few people around them may share the same perceptual awareness, making their experiences feel alien or misunderstood. Solitude, therefore, becomes a sacred necessity, a retreat into a dimension where they can connect with the universal rhythms, attune to their own inner guidance, and discern the truths that will inform their path forward. In their moments of solitude, chosen ones often experience a heightened connection to intuition. It is within these quiet spaces that their inner voice becomes audible, where subtle nudges, insights, and inspirations can be recognized and acted upon. The external world, with its noise, obligations, and distractions, can easily drown out this inner wisdom. By retreating into solitude, they create an environment where their intuition is prioritized, strengthened, and trusted. This practice is not just about self-reflection. It is about aligning with a higher sense of purpose, following the currents of unseen guidance, and navigating life in harmony with the deeper truths they perceive. Solitude also offers the chosen ones a chance to reconcile with their sense of identity. Their inner world is rich and complex, often encompassing multiple dimensions of thought, emotion, and awareness. In everyday interactions, the pressures of conformity and expectation can make it difficult to express this multifaceted self fully. Solitude provides a sanctuary where they can explore their identity without compromise, confront their fears, acknowledge their strengths, and integrate all aspects of who they are. This self-integration is essential for living authentically and engaging with the world from a place of clarity, confidence, and purpose. The chosen one's solitude is often a spiritual practice as much as a personal one. In withdrawing from external distractions, they create a space for contemplation, meditation, and communion with the unseen. They sense the interconnectedness of all things, the subtle threads that link every experience, and the resonance of intentions across the fabric of reality. Solitude allows them to explore these connections, to attune to the flow of energy, and to act with discernment and purpose. It is a sacred dialogue, a continuous alignment with forces that are invisible yet profoundly influential. Through solitude, they learn to navigate life with insight, clarity, and a deep awareness of the impact of their thoughts, actions, and presence. Another important aspect of this solitude is the chosen one's relationship with time. In the quiet, they experience a heightened sense of the rhythms of life, the flow of energy, and the subtle cycles that govern existence. Time for them is not merely a sequence of events, but a dynamic field of possibility and potential. Solitude allows them to perceive these rhythms, align with them, and act in ways that are both intentional and harmonious. It is in these moments that they cultivate patience, foresight, and the ability to move deliberately through life, rather than being swept along by external pressures or immediate demands. The chosen one's connection to solitude also shapes the way they relate to others. When they do engage socially, it is often with intention, discernment, and authenticity. They seek meaningful connections that resonate with their inner truth, rather than superficial interactions that drain energy or obscure clarity. Their periods of solitude allow them to approach relationships from a place of fullness rather than neediness, to offer presence rather than distraction, and to create bonds that are mutually enriching. In this way, solitude becomes not just a retreat, but a preparation for engagement, a source of depth, strength, and alignment in their interactions with others. This intentional approach to social connection highlights the profound wisdom that solitude cultivates. By honoring their need for time alone, the chosen ones develop clarity about who and what truly aligns with their energy, allowing them to form relationships that are authentic, supportive, and transformative. They engage with others not out of obligation or habit, but from a place of conscious choice and inner abundance. In this way, their solitude is not an escape from the world, but a deliberate practice that enhances their ability to contribute meaningfully, radiate presence, and nurture connections that are rooted in genuine understanding and mutual growth. Through this balance of retreat and engagement, the chosen ones navigate life with both depth and grace, creating a harmony between inner reflection and outer expression.